get mad every time I have to think about it. Hello everyone. It is 4:33 in the morning on the morning of April 3rd, 2025. The first episode of this series comes out on the 30th of this month. Every day, it gets worse. There is some good news. I'm trickling my way back into doing music. All of this just really sucks. Speaking of things that suck, one thing that's been kind of funnily holding me out and holding me over all of this is cool video game announcements and things that are cool in the world of video games. I can't buy any of them because I don't have a job. I don't have money that I could reasonably spend anyway. Funnily enough, the only thing that's been keeping me alive without having money is my credit cards. Anyway, I'm in extreme amounts of debt because of my credit cards. Everything besides my Bank of America one is completely maxed out. I have $15 on my Bank of America one, and then $7 on my Capital one. But I'm $2,000 in debt almost now, so that's so good. That is just absolutely unreal, right? Isn't that so great? Isn't this just such a good thing, being in debt? Wow. Anyway, the video games. Speaking of things that suck, I watched yesterday was the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement, and then the associated release announcements for the games that were coming out. It comes out in June. Price for the actual console is totally good. I'm actually pretty okay with that. I think it's okay for a console experience to be in the more premium price ranges because you're meant to use it. And if it's any indication of how long it'll last, the Switch 1 lasted 9 years. So, and I still think games will be coming out for the Switch, so the console itself isn't going to end. So, but Switch 2 is going to be the main primary console moving forward for Nintendo. The thing that sucks, though, is that games are going to be $80 fucking. People threw a muck about it when they got increased to $70. But as far as economics goes, I could understand the justification of it as the increase in production costs of games happened, but the $60 price point remained unchanged. for a really, really long time. I feel like games were $60 back when, like the like just in the late stages of the PS2 all the way to like the beginning of the 360 and the PS3 and things. So like I get it, like I understood. However, the rise to $70 only happened like seriously only happened maybe like 2 years ago, I think, something like that, like 2 or 3 years ago, and now we're already at $80 in that short of a time span. That's crazy. That's nuts. That is, in fact, very crazy. Just bit the hell out of my lip. New From Software game, The Duskbloods, is what it's called. Basically Bloodborne 2, but with some PvPvE, so multiplayer in it. What I'm thinking is it's gonna be something like Hunt Showdown. If Elden Ring Night Rain is coming out, and that's supposed to be sort of like the monster hunter of of um of like Elden Ring, the Duskbloods is meant to be like the Hunt Showdown of Bloodborne, you know? And frankly, I don't really find um, Hunt Showdown and Monster Hunter that different. If you integrated like a PvP element into Monster Hunter, where like other hunters you could find out in the world could just start kicking your ass or whatever, um, then that would be it. Like you would just do that, and it would be Monster Hunter Showdown or something. So in the Duskbloods, you'll be running around, probably having to find the boss or whatever it is. You start fucking up the boss, and then somebody can. I don't think it'll be like invasions where like you wait for them to spawn in. I think everybody spawns into the same map at the same time. And of course, if people like leave or whatever, they'll drop out. But yeah, I am excited for that game though. The Duskbloods. It's basically like, I mean, you heard the Bloodborne little bell chime thing within like 10 seconds of the trailer starting or something like that. So, I mean, it can't be. There was also cutscenes and stuff. Yeah, I doubt it's gonna be totally exclusive to like multiplayer stuff. So like Elden Ring for Night Rain specifically, you can play that game solo, though it's not really intended to. But honestly, people are gonna do it, and it's gonna be very cool. But yeah, video games have been my sort of saving grace. Cool announcements, cool art, stuff like that. anyway, that's all I got for this one. Everything sucks. Everything is shitty. I feel like piss, and I look like shit. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.